There's something about pyramids. They command presence, not just in stone, but in silence. They have stood for thousands of years, outliving empires, outlasting religions, and outwitting historians. But despite being carved into textbooks, the truth remains elusive. Because the more we look, the more the pyramids refuse to be understood. Why are similar pyramid structures found across every corner of the planet, built by cultures supposedly unconnected? Why do some of them align precisely with the stars, mimic celestial geometries, or harness acoustic properties we're only beginning to understand today? This isn't just about ancient architecture. It's about what was left behind and what might still be operating. Welcome to the Pyramid Code, a journey into the forgotten technologies, global conspiracies, and coded messages written in stone. If you thought you knew the pyramids, think again. Across Egypt, Mesoamerica, China, Sudan, and even Antarctica, ancient structures shaped like pyramids rise from the earth. Civilizations separated by oceans and allegedly by millennia all chose the same form. Coincidence, or something much more orchestrated? In Egypt, the Great Pyramid of Giza has no inscriptions inside. Not a single hieroglyph. For a culture obsessed with writing, that's strange. In Mexico, the Pyramid of the Sun mirrors the dimensions of Giza almost perfectly, including its alignment to true north. In China, over 100 pyramids lie hidden under farmland and military exclusion zones. Most people don't even know they exist. Why would cultures with no documented contact all build pyramid structures with similar internal chambers, ventilation shafts, and celestial alignments? Ancient astronaut theorists suggest the knowledge was seeded, passed down by visitors. Archaeologists argue it was simply a convergent evolution of architecture. But then why the secrecy? Why are the Chinese pyramids still sealed by law? Why are newly discovered anomalies under the Sphinx classified? Maybe the question isn't who built the pyramids, but why someone doesn't want us to know what they were really for. Let's talk logistics. Some of the blocks used in the Great Pyramid weigh over 70 tons. There are over 2.3 million of them, stacked with sub-millimeter precision, without mortar. Modern engineers say we couldn't replicate it with today's technology. So how did a Bronze Age culture supposedly using copper chisels and rope accomplish it? Even more mysterious, the stone used wasn't local. Granite was hauled over 500 miles from Aswan. And in some pyramids, the blocks are fused together so tightly that not even a razor blade fits between them. Inside, the Great Pyramid reveals more anomalies. Shafts aligned with the Orion Belt and Sirius chambers that resonate at 432 Hz. The healing frequency in mystic traditions, electrical discharge marks in the so-called King's Chamber. Was the pyramid a tomb? Or a machine? One theory suggests it was a power plant. Not in a sci-fi way, but in the sense of using harmonic resonance and water chemistry to generate electromagnetic energy. Even Nikola Tesla believed the Great Pyramid held the key to free wireless power. His Wardenclyffe Tower was based on the pyramid's dimensions. But if the ancients had this knowledge, where did it go? Was it lost? Or deliberately erased? In 1994, author Robert Bauval proposed something that rocked the academic world. The three pyramids of Giza perfectly mimic the stars of Orion's belt, both in shape and orientation. When overlaid with a star map from 10,500 BC, the match is exact. Why would the builders encode star positions from a time before their civilization even existed? Even more puzzling, temples around the world show similar sky maps. The Mayans worshipped Quetzalcoatl, a serpent god from Orion. The Angkor Wat temples in Cambodia align with the constellation Draco. The Nazca lines point to various solstices and stellar events. Were the ancients mapping the stars to honor the heavens? Or to mirror something, or someone, from above? And if they encoded dates from 10,500 BC, does that mean a forgotten civilization existed long before we're taught in school? Plato spoke of Atlantis. Göbekli Tepe predates the pyramids by 6,000 years. Is it possible that these monuments are not the peak of early civilizations, but the remains of something far older? In 2017, a new discovery shocked the archaeological world. Using cosmic ray muon imaging, scientists found a previously unknown void inside the Great Pyramid. It was the first major discovery in centuries. But since then, silence. The Egyptian authorities sealed off further access. The team that made the discovery vanished from media coverage. The project website quietly disappeared. What's in the void? And why the secrecy? It's not the first time. In the 1990s, a robotic rover was sent into a narrow shaft in the Queen's chamber. It found a tiny door with copper handles, and behind that, another sealed door. To this day, no one has been allowed to see beyond the second door. Some believe these hidden chambers house ancient scrolls, lost technology, or evidence of pre-Egyptian builders. Others suggest they were simply spiritual symbolic elements. But one thing is clear: the discoveries are real, and they're being kept from the public. Even more strange, military bases are often located near ancient pyramid sites. The Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun is under constant surveillance. In Antarctica, satellite imagery shows pyramid-like structures under the ice, but any expedition to the area is denied under international treaty. Why all the effort to control and suppress pyramid-related information? Let's return to the idea that the pyramid wasn't just a tomb, but a machine. Tesla believed the Earth was a conductor of energy. The Great Pyramid, placed on a limestone bed, with granite-conducting chambers, and shafts aligned with magnetic ley lines, could have been a harmonic energy collector. Sound science fiction? Researchers have demonstrated that the King's Chamber resonates at 432 Hz and 528 Hz, frequencies associated with DNA repair and ancient rituals. Liquid channels under the pyramid show signs of chemical corrosion, possibly from zinc and hydrochloric acid. Combined, these could have produced a hydrogen reaction, generating ionized energy. If that's true, the pyramid wasn't a burial ground. It was a generator. But why build something so massive just for energy? Unless it wasn't meant for us. Or it wasn't built by us. Which brings us to perhaps the most controversial theory: that the pyramid was a beacon, a transmitter, and someone, or something, once listened. In recent years, AI has been used to scan ancient texts, decode hieroglyphs, and simulate pyramid acoustics. And what it's finding is unsettling. Hidden symbols once thought decorative show encrypted ratios and prime number structures. Anomalies in pyramid maps reveal repeating patterns tied to quantum harmonics, something the ancients shouldn't have known. Even stranger, AI voice models, when run through pyramid acoustic simulations, produce harmonic feedback that sounds eerily intentional. Are we reconstructing the voice of the builders, or activating something we don't yet understand? Whistleblowers claim that several pyramid sites contain electromagnetic anomalies, disrupting GPS and causing equipment to fail. And in some restricted dig sites, teams are using AI to see through the stone, but the results are classified. In the age of AI, the pyramids may be revealing their final secrets. But are we ready for them? We are taught that the past is behind us. But the pyramids whisper otherwise. They defy history. They transcend cultures. And they might still be doing something we don't yet comprehend. Some believe they're monuments to human greatness. Others, remnants of a lost age. But perhaps they are warnings. Messages carved in the only language time cannot erase. Stone. And if we keep digging, decoding, and listening, we may discover we were never alone. And that something, or someone, is waiting for us to understand. This is the Pyramid Code. Broadcast ended, but the signal remains.